Hi Scorpio, welcome to July and welcome to the eclipse season. We are going to have two more eclipses in this season. The first eclipse just happened on 21st of June and it will impact us all the way till December, though most of the events related to that eclipse will happen in July itself, and then we'll have another eclipse on 4th or 5th of July in the opposite sign. These two eclipses combined together bring the last 2 years to closure, the last 18 months to closure. Over the course of last 18 months, Scorpio, we have been focusing on expanding our mind, expanding our self-expression, expanding our knowledge about a subject which is different from what we have done before. And now we are coming to a finality of some sort, a turning point of some sort, of delivering something new, taking a leap of faith into a new direction as a result of all the things that we have learned over the course of last 18 months. As I spoke about it in the part 1 of the video, we just did a video on solar eclipse where I spoke about the introduction to the eclipse, the solstice solar eclipse, which is a very, very strong, important, directional new start which is happening in our life. That new start is pushing us, Scorpio, towards a new belief system, a new way of thinking, a new way of being. And this has been in making over the course of last 18 months. But what's happening now is that after a lot of detours, there is a bit of a shift in destination. It is like we were studying in a specific field for the last 18 months. We were writing a project, we were going to publish something, we were going to become an SME in a specific subject, or we were going to have a specific belief system, a specific purpose in our life, and follow the life through a specific path that we had been working on since we, started education to some extent. And now that through a detour, that path has shifted. The content of that publication has shifted. The belief system has shifted. Or the purpose of our life is getting shifted. And this has happened through a detour. This has happened through a shift in direction. And to some extent, over the course of next couple of weeks, all the way till 12th of July, while Mercury, the planet of thinking, is retrograde in our house of education, in our house of adventure, we will review our life path thoroughly during this time. We will revisit our philosophy, our belief system, our mentors, our sense of adventure, our purpose in life during these 3 weeks. It has our philosophy, or the way we sometimes restrict our own sense of adventure, is that serving us well? Is our belief system, is our thinking, is that serving us well? Are we missing certain important details in our broad vision? What can derail you? Do you have a better vision of your own life at this time? It will make us pay attention to where we are going. Have we missed tapping on any resources? Have we missed tapping on a mentor, a foreign friend, a guru? Do we need to retrain ourselves and acquire a knowledge on a subject to move and work effectively on our path? Your whole belief in life comes into focus over here. Your sense of adventure, what are you creating, comes into focus. And we will adjust. We'll make an adjustment in our belief system. We'll make an adjustment in our creative reality. It is a very future focused transit where the purpose of life is shifted, and that happens because of a detour. And that detour is coming because of Saturn in your house of home and family. So there might be certain personal considerations, certain shift in how you feel secure within your skin that has happened, which is making you revisit your path in life. It is even possible that you were planning to, say, publish a book or write a book or deliver something, because this new moon and the solar eclipse and the new moon that we'll have in the middle of July, there are two new moons in your house of publication, in your house of expansion of mind, in your house of adventure. These two new moons, one of which is a solar eclipse, a very potent solar eclipse, these two new moons are asking you to clearly think, rethink a little bit, take a step back even over the course of next 10 days especially, to rethink your approach to life. Are you taking the right kind of risk? Are you going in the right direction? Is this what you meant to be the purpose of your life? So, for example, maybe you decided to write a book, and this is, again, as I said, this is not a surprise. This has been in making over the course of last 18 months, especially since September or of last year or even summer of last year. This has been building up a directional shift in life, a shift in belief system. Maybe you were writing a project or you were deciding to take a leap of faith and you were sort of, it was in making. And then a detour came. Somebody, maybe an attention towards home and family, some event in home and family, or something that threatened your security and safety. That came into picture. Now, with that detour comes a reconsideration. How do we follow our path in life, our purpose in life, when that is happening? And sometimes, because of that detour, that delay, we sometimes think that our purpose in life is lost. The end destination that we were going to is lost, but it is not lost, just that the destination shifts to some extent. I gave an example in the part one of the video, which I think is very pertinent to this way of looking at the situation, the current situation, which is that, a man is going for an interview and there is a threshold to be crossed. There's a barrier that comes in between, and that barrier is Saturn here. It could be an authority figure, it could be a rule, it could be hardship to some extent from an authority figure, or some shift in your personal life, in your home and family situation or place of living, which gives you a roadblock, because of which that river has to flow from a different direction now. But the river always finds a way to the destination. But what happens, and what most people do not realize, is that during that diversion, that river has changed its content. It has changed its purpose in life. It's going to flow to a different direction. The end goal and the end destination, or the purpose of your life that you thought it is, and what you were possibly working into, even the thing that you were going to graduate into, because this is the house of graduation, specialization, becoming a guru of something, becoming a SME of something, becoming a publication of significance, the person who's teaching other people about something. But the end deliverable of that is shifting over here. That detour that looks like an impediment, that personal issue or this hardship or that detour that has come in between, which is taking all of which is taking a lot of your energy to some extent, it is going to give you the ability to push a solid sense of your own power, and it will give you the ability to follow through on your own creative impulses. It will enhance your intuition, it will enhance your emotional foundation to an extent that what was going to be a very small deliverable, it will become much more expansive in content. It will become richer in content. It's like, life experiences that you are gaining because of this detour. It's going to completely enrich what you were going to publish, what you were going to write, what you were going to teach, what you were going to take as a leap of faith. And you will still take that leap of faith, but it will lead you to a different destination, in my view. So this new moon, the two new moons that are happening, one right now, another one in middle of July. A solar eclipse is a new moon as well. So the solar eclipse and the new moon in July, they both in coordination are going to give you a push to take a leap of faith, to defend your belief system, to adapt your belief system, your outlook, your philosophy, change your philosophy to some extent, to take a leap of faith for a higher purpose, to be a mentor, to be a teacher, to be a person of higher values, to be a person who's there to nurture others, to influence other people's belief system even. Nurturing others by belief system, by their belief system. It is like the house of gurus who lead people by their philosophy, by their ideology, by their words, by their teaching. And you have Jupiter and Pluto together in your house of words, in your house of thinking. Your words have a lot of influence and power over other people. This is the house of a person who can lead as a mentor, as a scholar, who has deep faith in their philosophy, who have connection with other people through through divine means, through um, heart-based or soul-based philosophy. They appeal to the masses, or they appeal to the people, comes from a place of soul. It comes from the heart. It comes from earth. It comes from divine intervention to some extent. Your connection with divine, if I may say, that is felt in a very deeper fashion in your words. And that core does not come, that there's need to be a little bit, if I may say, and I'm a Scorpio rising as well, I feel it too. There's a little bit of hurt that sometimes needs to happen for that divinity to come in our words. So the detour is adding that divinity into your words, and that's where, to some extent, the harsh criticism or the disapproval or the delay has to be taken into account, because you have to realize that there is an additional ingredient that is going into your leap of faith. But this is an urgent eclipse. This is not an eclipse which is going to cause delay for another 2 years or anything. We are going to have a new start in July itself. July itself is a leap of faith. The eclipses of these sorts, they have impact within 4 weeks. They will take 6 months for completely panning out, to fully pan out. But the steps, the active actional steps, are taken within the next 1 month. So this could be related to you going for a higher education, you're going for a publication, something artistic, musical, which involves your psychological IQ, your emotional IQ, that sort of reaches into your core. This is not cold and cold mathematical skill set that is being used. This involves something more artistic, something deeper, something spiritual, something that has been added to you through, if I may say, it's like through some hurt and experience in life. And that hurt and experience in life can expand other people's life, can help other people's life. So we take something from interaction of others. We give something to others through our interaction with others, through a written media, through publication, through advertisement, through teaching, and we activate them. This is big publication. This is learning. This is foreign experience. This is touching the lives of people who are different from you, and getting involved in new cultures, new ways. This is the next step. This will feel like a logical next step. Cancer eclipses are not felt by force to us. This will feel like a natural next step to you. So if it is not yet feeling like the natural next step, the grid will get filled with this Mercury retrograde right now. Mercury retrograde is all about filling the grid, taking a step back to revisit things. Are we missing something? Am I living my philosophy? Am I living my life by my own life code? You will retake certain examinations, edit your publications, proofread certain written work. You'll read, expand your mind. You'll review your bookshelf. You'll review your influences. You'll get rid of the influences that are not serving you well. Did the rut of life make you lose love for what you were truly going after? It will reset your path back to where you need to be. This is a travel of the mind. We'll be replanning our life here, traveling through the next 20 years and thinking at 30,000 feet, where do I want to finally land? Cancer is a zodiac sign, and this is the season of Cancer. It rules our place of rest in the end. How do we want to dissolve back in earth? What do you want to end up as? What is the purpose of our life? What are we truly made of? Your role in life? Are you sharing your gifts? So this reawakening of Cancer energy through 2 new moons, through a Mercury retrograde at the same time, and the finality of this last 18 months of process is all about figuring out, is this my life's purpose or not? And you'll find that the next 10 days, at least till 30th of June, that you'll be reviewing that. You'll be going back and forth on it. There could even be certain past projects, written projects, that can come for modification. There could be some old, sense of adventure that needs to come back in our life. And there could be mentors who can come back in our life. There could be guides teaching old videos you watched, that used to awaken you, old gurus back in our life, which awaken us again. And they will wake up a part of you which was dormant, which might have got lost in the rut, which might have got lost in the detour, in the stress of the moment that might have got lost. And they will wake that back up. They will wake that up. It could be this video, it could be something else that you used to follow. It will wake you up. So read, write, publish, expand your mind, expose yourself to influences that are different from what you do. Because at this time, you will be like a blank slate looking for a different direction, looking for a different direction that is more in line with who you are, what feels like home, a foreign place, a foreign country, a foreign culture, a foreign belief system that feels more like home, a spiritual pursuit, a pursuit to nurture others, a pursuit to help others emotionally in some senses, using your intuition, using your faith, your authentic feelings to support others in some ways. This is coming from your own core, and you're sharing that with people who are different from you. Your belief about your life will change here. And this is positive karma. This is in positive energy with us. So it will, as I said, this is not a forceful thing. This comes to us. It's that it's that dark night of soul that most of the Scorpio, if I may say, have been going through since Saturn came in our house of home, family, and emotional foundations. And Saturn will sit there for the next 2 years because it is intent on taking us to the next level. It is not going to rest till we create a new foundation, a new emotional foundation for us. As I said, Cancer is the home of where will you rest when you become one with Earth. What do we want to end up as? What do we want to be known as? What do we want to leave behind us? Whether it is our home, whether it is our family, but what is the purpose of our life? And something mundane will come to implement, to push us in that direction. It could be a deliverable. It could be a written deliverable. It could be a messaging. It could be a communication. It could be somebody who's like a past mentor, coming in our life. And there will be something mundane which will come, nuts and bolts, some commercial issue coming in, or you figuring out how to create commercial value out of the ideology that you have. Something mundane will come up and it's going to propel you in that direction. So look at publication, read, look at profound written material, look at writing, expanding, becoming a SME at a specific field, look at the life purpose, look at initiating something new in that direction that feels like leap of faith, but maybe the grid is not full, which means that we are not feeling ready yet because there are certain reconsiderations, certain detours, certain shifts, certain rewrites that are required in that story for you to be comfortable, and use the next 3 weeks while Mercury is retrograde till about 12th of July to fill that grid up. What is not in line with what you want in that vision? What is not working in it? Are you living your life goal? What is keeping you out of it? And then the next 6 months, Scorpio, we have Mars in our house of work and health routines. We will be setting things to order. Once we sort of have a blueprint, right, in July, we have a blueprint of where we're going. You sort of become that archer. Once you know where you're going, you sort of will go for it. But there will be that readjustment period. Where am I going to aim all of this energy that I'm going to be given for the next 6 months to pursue something like with blinders on? What is that direction that I'm going to? That refocusing of the aim happens in July, and you'll experience that till 30th of June. You're doing that, and then till 10th or 12th of July, you will come up with a new path. You will come up with a new focus. You will come up with a new way to pursue your passion. You'll come up with the new words for your book. You'll come up with a new subject of publication, a new purpose of life. And that comes because of a detour. So the pressure that you're feeling possibly in your personal life, or pressure that you're feeling possibly emotionally at this stage, let that all in, because it is changing you as a person to become who you need to become for others. It is changing you, it is changing your composition as a person. It's like a something that is changing our brain chemistry at this stage. And our brain chemistry needs to be such to become the teacher, to become the mentor, to become the person who helps others, who infuses their belief system and life into other people, to become a teacher, to become a mentor, to become a person who shares their belief system and influences with other people. Sometimes we ourselves need to go through a process, and we are in that process right now, because of which the output that will come will be more matured, will be more deliberate in action, will be more natural in the sense that it will be less with inhibitions. It will be devoid of frivolity to some extent, because Saturn is going to knock off anything that is irrelevant. So it's like, we wrote a 1,000-page book, and Saturn is going to pare that down to 200 words. And they're going to be punchy, they're going to be impactful. So the way you self-express will definitely shift as a result of these eclipses. The way you voice yourself, the way you talk, the way you express your opinions, and whether you wait to be given a seat, all of that will change during this time. And then the next 6 months, we set order to it. And this doesn't have to be specifically written project or a publication. This is where you are sharing your experience with others. This is when a person has graduated in a specific field, and then they're ready to teach others that. So in your job, in your profession, you have to look for a field where you are the teacher, not the learner anymore. You're the person imparting the knowledge. You're the person who's ready to deliver their gifts. Many of us, we like to be, especially Scorpios, like to be the students. They like to learn things. They like to absorb all information. They like to, which we'll continue to do. We'll continue to absorb information. That's just our inherent nature. But when we have eclipses of this sort, it's the time to deliver. It's the time to deliver all we have learned and put them in words and publish it out to other people. So in your job, wherever you are, this will not be you going ahead and leaving to do a basic course or something. No, you will be doing the next level. This is the higher level. You become the senior here. You become the person who's teaching others. You become the mentor. You become the person imparting the new belief system. You become the person who's imparting knowledge here. And you learn because of osmosis. You learn because of being with people who are different from you. You learn through life experiences. You learn through being in contact with people who are different from you. You learn because of practical experiences that will come into your, and they might have already happened because North Node has been here for the last 18 months. The learning will happen because of experiences in life. It will come because of you taking a step. It will come because of a sense of adventure, because of you going into experiences, jobs, people, surrounding countries which have been different from where you have been before. They will not come because of sticking to the old place. They will come from you taking a leap of faith. And this is despite feeling the pressure of hardship from authority, from rules, from father figures, from family, even a disapproval or harsh criticism from others. In fact, that criticism or that disapproval, it will give you the ability to push. It will give you the ability to become truly self-reliant, because it will create a solid sense of your own power, irrespective of what the others are saying. You learn to follow your own creative impulses, your own gut feeling. Follow what your heart says, irrespective of your critics and authorities at this time. And some sort of boundary issues will get highlighted here. Maybe we need to set the right boundaries over here. This eclipse will be showing you some imbalance in boundaries as well. And there could be an extreme expression of boundary issues here, which can make you feel fatigued and a little bit burned out because you might be taking on burden of others, which only enables others to take no responsibility of their own life. So you would be required to re-examine where we don't have good boundaries with others, where we are taking too much of burden of the other person, which they should be doing. And if we don't tell them that, they will continue to put the responsibility of their own life on you. And it would not lead to acceptance, it will only lead to your burnout. So you have to do and take certain bold steps here, because too many people might be asking more of you. So you have to say no to certain unreasonable requests. Sometimes we don't have to change the place, we have to change the way we are in that place. And that changes the whole direction of our life as well. So the detour might be not you going somewhere, but you changing the way you get there, if that makes sense. Because you're setting the right boundaries. And this could, in my view, this could be very, very important if you're feeling that burnout and that chronic, that fatigue that we feel. And this eclipse is going to exaggerate that a little bit. If you're feeling that in your mind, if you're feeling that physically, you know that there is a boundary issue that exists, which needs to be put up. There are certain things you need to set the rules and the regulation, and you need to say no to to certain set of things. And this could be boundaries in your personal life. It could be boundaries with your co-workers. Saturn will dip back in your house of co-workers, in your house of immediate environment, in your house of commercial coordination with others. So you might need to put some boundaries back up which have gone down, some boundary issues where you have to refuse to take on the burden of others to some extent when it's inappropriate. And that is just you taking care of you a little bit, you taking care of your emotional foundations and your well-being. And that is very much highlighted right now. You might be already feeling that during this eclipse. So pay attention to that. It is required not just for you to deliver your gifts, it is required to take care of your health. The next 6 months, while Mars is in your house of health and work routines, the connection between mind and body will get even more highlighted, which means that if you're not in the right work environment, you will find the effect of that on your health a little bit more than normal. And if your health is not letting you work, this connection becomes stronger. The cycle of if you're healthy, you work well. If you're in a good work environment, your health is better. This cycle becomes strengthened when Mars is here. And Mars is inflammation. So if somebody in your work environment, somebody with whom you don't have good boundaries at work, some work project that you don't really want to do but you're being pushed to do and you're not able to say no to, those things will start affecting you much more than they did before. And that will accelerate the need to set those boundaries up. So be on lookout for that. But Mars in Aries is once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm going to do another detailed video on that because it deserves it. Mars is our ruler, Scorpio. Mars is our courage. It's our ability to make things happen. Having that in 6 months in its own sign, in our house of work, we can get stuff done. We can put life back to order. We can bring order back in life. We can get any difficult project through. We can get things off the ground that have never happened before. And we can completely shift our health in a very dramatic fashion in the next 6 months. So see that as a part of this new moon. See that as a part of this new start. Having a better health, having a better mind, which functions together, having a better work environment, taking that leap of faith which improves our life and propels it to the right direction, propels us to, as I said, where do you want to go when you become one with Earth? So Cancer season reminds us of that. It reminds us of who we are, what are we made of, and what do we want to be dissolved as. Where is our final resting place? Who do we want to become? What do we want to be known as after we are gone? So we are reminded of those things in Cancer season. So good luck for that, Scorpio. I'll see you in the next video. I'm going to do another one for July, and I'll definitely focus on Mars a little bit more, which is very, very important for our sign. Good luck. I'll see you in the next video now.